Hello and welcome to this segment of Tuesday Seeds. Today we have another solid episode for you. We're going to be discussing not only the importance of giving yourself permission to dream, but also leaning on those who have gone before you and have paved the way. So please stay tuned. The other day, while attending a national meeting for farmers from underserved communities, I had a coalition member really express their frustration with the lack of engagement and participation from our farmers throughout the nation. Now, this is a good reminder that while we are certainly encouraged by the growing number of farmers who are now leaning forward and engaging in some of the programs and services that we're offering, especially in the lane of soil health and regenerative ag, it shows us that there's still plenty of imposter syndrome, plenty of fear out there. So with that said, what I want to do is share a short clip of a presentation I did at the end of last year. It's a portion of a presentation, I must say, but in it talks about not only giving yourself permission to dream and dream big, but also leaning on those who have gone before you. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to change your situation. So please enjoy. I'm going to start things off by taking you back to the early 1940s. And at this time in southern Alabama, a young man was sitting with his father, and they saw a plane go by, which was somewhat not the norm in the 1940s. And as the son looked at the plane go by, he looked at his dad and said, "Hey, Dad, I want to be a pilot, a commercial pilot someday." And his dad looked at his son and he kind of shook his head and he said, "Son, there are no colored pilots." So the young man kind of, looked down. Of course, colored at that time, that's what black people referred to themselves as. So the son kind of sat there for a little bit and he thought about it. And then a few minutes later, he said, "Hey, Dad, I want to be a Major League Baseball player." And Dad again kind of paused, shook his head a little bit and said, "Son, there are no colored baseball players." Now, fast forward maybe a couple years later, as that same child was sitting in his classroom, he heard news that the very first black baseball player, Jackie Robinson, was actually in town for an exhibition game playing with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And he actually was at one of the local community drugstores just talking to, a group from the community. And the boy immediately jumped up, ran out from class, and joined the crowd at this drugstore. Now, he couldn't hear much about what Jackie Robinson was saying because the crowd was so large. However, that didn't really matter to him because just seeing a black baseball player standing there was enough for him. Now, it gets better because when the boy goes home, his dad has a couple tickets for the exhibition game that night. So he actually had an opportunity not only to meet Jack Robinson, but to see him play. And Jackie had a pretty good game that day. And from that point forward, his dad never attempted to tell the young boy what he could dream about. So the story gets better. because that young boy eventually became a Major League Baseball player. Not only that, he ended up breaking Babe Ruth's record of all-time home runs, which stood actually for another 20 to 30 years before Barry Bonds broke it. So, and anyone guess who that baseball player was? That's right, Hammerin' Hank Aaron. So I'm leading off with this story only to set the stage, and you just heard someone speak about that, the power of hope, the power of possibilities, and really for disenfranchised groups, being able to see what that looks like sometimes makes all the difference in the world. So often I like to say what often looks like a people problem is most often a situation problem. So